What the hell we got going on there? Guys, I don't know if you can hear us or not. I don't even know if it's
It's streaming, but it's no sound.
There we go. Check.
I know they out here talking like I ain't.
So that was the old video.
Jay said yes.
Chase, you can hear us now? Not sure what I did wrong, but I'm gonna test these one at a time. Let me know.
See, it's not.
Trying to figure out. Check. So you can hear us now? Hopefully.
Nope.
No, he'll hear us now. Hopefully.
Jason, if you can hear me, comment. 10-4.
Alright, so we're back. Fuck, dude.
Fucking technology, man. Like,
Nah, you know what it is? It's fucking Monday.
Fucking, it's too early. 10-4. Appreciate that, Chase.
Alright, so, since we can do this.
Let's just go.
I know they out here talking like I ain't the man, like I ain't gonna do every single thing they said I can, like I ain't been holding off the tape and giving. I know they out here talking like I ain't the man, like I ain't gonna do every single thing they said I can, like I ain't been holding off the tape and giving them a chance, like I ain't afraid to switch the floor up like a change of plans of these rappers. We get touched the whole summer. You ain't seen the projections, boy, you gon' be outnumbered. Can't afford not to win, losing ain't in the budget, and it's far from an option. That's why we never discuss it. We don't got that writing, that's just something we know. Ain't no light to the solitude, everything is a go. I ain't noticed your progress. What you don't understand is everybody sounding like a little boy to the man. You should know I'm always on my grind, always on my grind. Keep it 9 to 5, I be on my job all the time. Everything is mine, everything is mine. Understand me? If I said it, then I mean it. I ain't lying. Understand me? You ain't get it. You should read between the lines. Understand me? No suggestion, Billy. I've been doing fine. Understand me? Couldn't see me if I opened up the blinds. Understand me? No request if you die. I ain't got the time. Understand me? Yeah, I said it. Yeah, I said it. Don't come to me for help in your career. Looking desperate.
In the prisons, from what I hear, this is just me talking. If they can't hear us, if they can't hear us, bro, I'm gonna just keep going. Somebody gonna talk to me. Everybody, wake up. Should have made a break.
What up, guys? We've been having some serious problems this morning, so we just decided to cut and start it all over. We don't even know if you can hear us right now. We don't know.
All right, she said we
Monday.
We can.
Can hear you. Sweet. Thanks, Chase.
Well, welcome back, everybody. I apologize for a brief little technical shutdown / audio violate. Whatever YouTube trying to do this, it's not gonna break us. It's nobody but YouTube. They're not gonna break us.
I got some inspirational stuff for the end too, but man, Monday, dude.
Monday, man. Like
traffic jam for you, audio problems here
just,
for me. All I want to do is keep from getting flagged on YouTube. Oh no, you didn't.
To the bone. Wow.
That was pretty good. That was gangster right there, bro.
I'm gonna learn the lyrics to that, man. I'm blowing up all your phone trying to get y'all to let you know. You have to
stop calling me, man.
Send me a telegram or something, bro. You call me on live, then I got my live messing up they live, and now everybody live mad. See, we still love you guys, man.
Yep.
I got some.
If you're still sticking around, thank you. We just reset. That's all you can do when you're having a bad day, man. Is just reset.
So if you was listening, or technically watching earlier, you know, we was having them audio issues. So if you was getting dressed and you just, hey, we was on the screen, we were watching. You just couldn't hear us. Maybe you should have been talking to us.
No, what it is we keep getting flagged by YouTube, and I keep watching all these podcasters out there playing other people's shit and not getting flagged. So I'm like, well, if I could make that little window up here so that we in the picture with the picture of the YouTube video, then we changed it enough.
Exactly.
And that's how they're getting away with it. So I'm trying to put in a little window up there, dude, and I messed all of our shit up. It's my fault.
I need a real, I need one of you YouTube bloggers to come out and holler at me and let us know how we can get this.
Oh, Chase is our man.
I'm talking about somebody with a
If I'd have asked Chase, we'd have had it and we wouldn't have lost sound.
Chase is the technician. I need somebody who actually got a YouTube channel who knows the rights and wrongs.
Yeah.
I was doing that for you. I like the fact that I can live chat with you on my
I know you were, man. And I was sitting there cussing you out like, who the hell is calling my shop an hour and a half early?
Bro, we would have sat here for a whole hour, did the podcast, and went back to check it, and it just would have sounded like fucking Beethoven trying to hear something. It just wouldn't work.
You were better off texting me.
Yeah. You guys up to this morning? Chase, you at work? You got no crazy calls coming in today? No bats in the attic?
Yeah, see, Chase said he'll show us later, dude. If I would have hit up Chase, and we wouldn't have had this problem. But anyway, so we were talking a little bit about, well, y'all couldn't hear it, so it was a conversation between me and him, which I guess we could technically call a rehearsal.
Yeah.
But what is up with these fucking kids in this tide, dude?
Man, I really want to show you guys what I've seen tide-wise. Like, stop.
The level of stupidity is hitting an all-time high, people. Why did you stop beating your kids? Yeah. I mean, all I gotta say is thank you, Dad. Thank you for whooping my ass. You know, it sucked when it was a kid. I used to think it was abuse. But I'm the only person I know like me. You know what I'm saying?
I was the only one that was getting my ass whipped as a child. I'm like, other kids don't get beat like this. And they were like, nah. Other kids did get their ass whipped like that. And it made us.
I mean, what do we blame it on? I know weed's gotten really strong lately, but damn, dude, I don't need to think I can.
Everybody that started off with the Disney Channel all fucked up and corrupted now. So stop letting your kids watch Disney, Nickelodeon, any of them little kids. No, just let it go. YouTube kids is probably.
You think you playing, but if you ain't never done the research, we got Christina Aguilera, Britney Spears, Justin Timberlake, Miley Cyrus.
They all corrupted now, and they all started from the Disney Channel. I used to like the Disney Channel, man. I looked up the Disney Channel. They used to wave the little wand and drop the little Mickey Mouse.
It's fun. It's funny that you bring up Disney because here I got this controversial painting in the background right here,
shit.
And we got Disney murdering Warner Brothers.
We got Michael Myers, Mickey.
So a lot of people just think it's a funny skit where I try to make Disney look like ISIS, But if you really pay attention, that's Daffy Duck, and he wearing the white devil mask. And Disney done cut his head off. That's why we don't see Warner Brothers no more. They done bought Lucasfilms. I mean, they cornering the market. And people don't understand, man. If you watch The Little Mermaid, there's dicks in there. You know what I'm saying? There's got other ones where they popping boners, man. These artists, they sneaky, but you ain't gonna get one past a real artist.
Yeah,
we gonna see that shit. We gonna be like, oh my god, honey, did you see that dick? That whole building was a dick.
All this shit in kids movies, bro. Like, this is PG. This is meant for our kids to watch. Anyway. So as I watch it as an adult, I'm catching all the fucked up things that happened in the movie. Like, I didn't catch as a kid because I didn't know anything about it. It wasn't explicit to me then.
See, that's why I like Pixar. Yeah. Pixar, an adult can watch the movie and laugh too, because the kids don't understand the adult overtones that they put into there.
Exactly. Right.
And so
Sausage Party, whoever came out with that bullshit.
Oh, that was dude from Pineapple Express, bro.
Really? That was.
What was his name? Seth something.
Seth
something. I can't remember his last name.
Yeah.
What's his
what's his last name? I know Chase knows.
That was the most fucked up video I've ever seen.
I thought it was a kid trailer when I seen it. I'm like, oh, they got hot dogs fighting me. Well, no, it was totally the opposite, bro. And I'm like,
it's all about the sausage and the buns. Oh my god, dude! And then the villain was a douche. You know what I'm saying? It's like, man,
this is sad.
Pineapple Express is your fault.
If anybody is upset about the Patriots going back to the Super Bowl for the 100 millionth time, let us know.
I'm not.
Yeah, I'm really, yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Kinda
I
saw
thought.
it
Was
coming.
Seth Rogen.
Yeah, kind of saw it coming, honestly. But it was a good game. Calls were made, calls weren't made. But that's how it works. These refs are never on our side. Fuck 'em.
That's why you always, even if it ain't football, you always got to be on top of your game because somebody
Exactly.
gonna call,
Somebody gonna call it.
somebody gonna blow the whistle and throw the flag if you ain't on top of your game.
I think it's the players' game. No, it's the refs' game. The refs gon' they know who they want to win.
And so let me pull this up. This is I had got this from USA News,
Okay.
and what it was. Let me shut that down. Hopefully that didn't just cut all of our stuff, and we still have audio. So let me go to the article before I click over right here. Yeah, it's USA News, and I'm gonna get to that. So, in case you didn't know, eating Tide Pods will cause seizures, pulmonary edema, respiratory arrest, coma, and even death. So, if you see your kids even looking at the Tide Pod, beat that ass.
I mean, put them in like one of them choke holds, like WWE style, like and slowly just whisper in their ear. Don't you think about
Why don't you do what our parents did and go get a fucking bar of soap and make them eat that?
Man, my grandma made my sister like brush her teeth out the toilet bowl one time. She heard her she didn't even say a full cussing word. I think she said like half of it, and that was enough for grandma to be like, "Oh, I got something for you."
Man,
So
I'm telling you what, if you even thought about saying a cuss word,
I ain't learned to start cussing since I was like in the fourth grade. I had this one friend. She showed up from like Utah, bro, and I'm talking about like a school was normal until this little girl showed up. This
yeah.
little girl just went to I
Oh,
went
we
in.
was cussing, dude. I'm telling you, you ain't never been in a real hood until you went to where the military people live in those complexes, bro. You got fucking Crips from fucking Guam and fucking.
You ain't never met a crip from Guam.
Oh man, I'm telling you what I have, man.
Siberian OG blood, man. Yeah,
Mike is
it's
spiking.
real out there.
There we go.
Beat your kids. Now they say more adults have died from eating laundry pods than kids. Why are we even like that's
I wouldn't necessarily call them adults.
half adults, half a kid, whatever they are.
Man, they probably teenagers still. Call them adults because they're in college.
Dude said it tastes like Tide ducking. Can we start calling them dorm balls? Yo, I need to see this.
I hope none of my friends are responsible and like posted something eating a Tide Pod.
Yeah, anybody stroll up in
I
here.
don't think
with a
I
video,
have
you
friends
eat
like
Tide,
that.
yeah,
I think we all just making fun of them.
Yeah.
You know, and then if you weren't out there, one of the trending things, I think it was Thursday after we got off the air, a video popped up trending about this guy. He was filming a fishing show.
Yeah.
And then all of a sudden he sees a boat, and the boat looks like it could pass by. But you know, common courtesy on the water is, did you give a guy that's got a line in the water enough room that you don't cut his line?
Right.
Right? And this boat just appears to be flying at this dude, and so he sticks his hands up in the air, and then eventually he jumps on the back of the boat. Then he starts yelling, and then the sudden, like, you could tell it hit him. Everybody went to the side of the boat like, we're gonna have to jump. And so I'm not gonna ruin it for you. Hopefully I can play a little bit of this without getting freaking flagged, but we don't really give a shit because we're not doing this for money. So fuck you too, YouTube.
I'm not even gonna lie, Chase. I just went to the website and checked out the whole Tide Pod. I seen Tide Pods that I ain't never seen before in the store, and they do look yummy. They do look like little candies. So I blame Tide, if anybody, making them look all like Sour Patch Kids and candies and shit.
Okay, so I'm gonna kill the audio because I feel like that's how they be getting us.
Yeah.
And check this out. You see the boat coming toward him. He sticks his hand up in the air. He starts waving like, holy shit, the realism comes. They get this. Damn. I mean, they'd have died, bro. There was no living. And if I can fast forward, this guy ended up suing. He says he was sitting down in his boat and could not see the other boat. And I'm like, how are you just gonna would you drive down the street with a bandana over your eyes or a blindfold over your eyes?
No.
And these people got obviously too much money and not enough fucking brains. Because like when we went out to the ocean, we saw people with their kids in the main channel. Now, the main channel to the ocean is probably only about 50 to 75 feet wide.
Okay.
There's just enough room for boats to pass by, just like a road. And we got people in there with kids on an inner tubing. And it's like, dude, you want to kill your kids. You want to, because there's just too much traffic there.
Way too much traffic.
And so, anyways, yeah, that was the brilliance that was some guy out in wherever that was.
Yeah, let me see where that was. Like, they were really upset about that.
Yeah. I mean, and the guy deserved to get sued. There were two people on the other boat. You know, obviously he's a popular fisher person in the area. He's got a YouTube channel where in sponsors. I mean, you look at the boat was wrapped.
Yeah.
You know, he was sponsored. And it's like, dang, man, if you thought your Monday was bad, try going and doing what you love, filming it, you know, producing a show like we're doing here. It'd be like us sitting right here and us be like, oh man, you see that bus? Oh shit, there's a bus. The bus looks like it's coming right toward us. Oh shit, Deem, go!
Jump.
And then your whole show is ruined. Like the dude's boat is ruined.
Very wrong.
You know, all that audio equipment. You know, that boat had to be wired so the cameras could catch all those angles and stuff. I mean, that stuff ain't easy. And then you put it on the water. Everything's got to be waterproof, and that's the expensive stuff. So if he was using some high def waterproof stuff, dude, it just probably doubled the price of his boat.
Everything got.
Between that and the Tide, maybe he was doing the Tide Pod challenge.
He's probably doing
on
it
the boat, trying to be like, "What y'all got on this, motherfucker? I got this Tide Pod, and we in a moving fast boat." And he started gagging and spitting, and so he was reaching for the water, and bam, hit the other boat.
The shit out of the other boat. I'm glad they jumped off, bro. Because if not,
that's why you don't do the Tide Pod challenge.
Don't do it at all. Consumer reports recommends keeping the detergent fill packs out of the households with activity.
So I did actually watch the game yesterday, or at least the end.
Yeah.
Dude, it wasn't like 100 to 98, dude. It was 3 touchdowns to 4. Right?
To the Super Bowl, man. Like
they fall hard, bro.
They fall hard, man. It happens. Like if you don't play sports, and you know, like you don't win them all. You can't win them all, regardless of how many people hype you up. Like, there has to be a winner. And obviously, it was them yesterday, so I wish them the best in the Super Bowl. You know, I feel like they have enough rings.
Wow.
I'm not a Patriots
Somebody's
fan.
a little salty. Would you like a little pepper with that salt there,
I'm not
buddy?
a Patriots fan. Fuck you guys. I don't care.
Oh, we know that some of our viewers are, and we're sorry for you.
They are.
Just take it out on your boss.
Let me get back to YouTube.
We'll get you a Jaguar stamp and just start stamping your signature.
Like the little thing you did everywhere.
Yeah, like my signature. You know what I'm saying? Get you a little customized Jaguar stamp with your signature on it, and just be like, "Yo, that's my signature. That's how I know it's mine."
That's how you know, bro.
And that's how you politely say "fuck you" to your own boss,
exactly,
who might be more than likely a Patriots fan.
A Patriots fan, bro. If you are
so do we have the lineup, or is there one more game?
Oh no, let's see. No, I think that's it. I think the Super Bowl is next. Super Bowl is next.
Who is it? Who's going? Is it the Bills?
Who else played yesterday? Besides the Patriots and the Jaguars, or the Eagles. The Eagles and the Patriots will be headed to the Super Bowl.
What is that? 157?
No, it's like Super Bowl 46 or some shit like that.
Oh man, yeah. So
that's gonna be a good
didn't
one right
we just
there.
play the Cowboys thing with the Eagles fans?
Yeah.
And this dude was pissing on the side of his car, and they were like went up and started talking shit to him because he was wearing a Cowboys jersey, and then all of a sudden they back up because the dude starts threatening him, and he looks at his passenger. He's like, "You thinking what I'm thinking?" And he's like, "Yup." And they ram this dude's door front ways on the car, and then they spin around and flip it back the other way. Like they totally ruined this dude's car. You can feel it shut his door.
Out there in the world.
And then they do their little Eagles chant.
You see the price of them Super Bowl tickets? Anybody looking forward to going to the Super Bowl right now? Come see me. Has anybody ever been to a Super Bowl? If you can get a Super Bowl ticket, do you see the prices in them?
Oh my God!
And that's not even like I wouldn't.
If you get invited to the Super Bowl,
you better
take that shit like an invite to the White House or something.
What does it come with though? Like It's gotta come with like a full package.
Nah, bro.
Yeah, go to
That shit is
NFL
just,
ticket exchange.
that is just basic.
Oh man, $6 grand for a ticket.
Where is it? Oh, that's front row seats, bro.
Oh
1 to
wow.
12.
I'm trying to be on the
Click,
halftime stadium.
click the back seat, the cheap seats up top up there where it's blue.
311. That's $7 grand. It must be the skybox, bro.
Oh yeah. That's full service right there.
It's gotta be sky. How much is it? Just watch it from your car. Yeah, it seems like the further away you get, the more expensive they are. So.
And that place is packed, bro.
Very packed. So
how many people? We're about to do the math, people.
You get 10
We're about to do the math because I'm telling you, if you're a vendor at one of these things, how many? Google estimated amount of people that attend the Super Bowl, and we'll just do the average price of $5,236.
What?
No, that's just tuning in. Sorry if you can hear my nose breathing. It could definitely fit 1,000. Wouldn't you say 1,000?
100. Oh shit! The first 10 games, 61,000.
So that says 8,000. Is that possible? Is the
You
stadium
can fit that many
big?
people in the stadium?
So let's take the smallest number. I think 74 was the small. 71, 67.
Okay.
So 67.
Damn, Super Bowl passes in 101,000.
Okay, so we take the average seat, which is $5,236 times 67,000, and you have just in one day made $350 million.
Just, oh man.
And that's just for the cheap seats, bro. And then you think about how much Doritos pays and Budweiser pays for that 1 minute commercial. Somebody in one day is making $500 million.
And they're just sitting back, just eating fucking Doritos, licking their fingers. I gotta go to the Super Bowl, man. I probably wouldn't even pay attention to it. You know what? If I paid for one of the tickets, you best.
I tattooed the guy that did the first Doritos commercial.
Yeah, you did.
The one where Doritos challenged their customers to make a Doritos commercial and they would play it at the Super Bowl.
I remember.
He went back and on the third year did it again. And so he's been living off of the revenue from that.
Man, he said, like, you pay a good amount?
Yeah, I mean, guess what he does for a living? He's like Chris. All he does is make commercials and stuff like that for other people.
Hey, you're a lucky man out there, bro. Congratulations on that, man. I don't think I could have came up with a Doritos commercial.
And you know me, I don't watch sports, so I was just like, oh, that's good.
I like the commercial.
I didn't even realize it was, a $500 million industry that he was competing against. That's pretty good. That's pretty good to win it twice.
Wow. It's a natural selection taking the majority of the generation out. Is that about the Tide Pods, bro?
So if you're just tuning in, the opening video was from Chris Bizzano. You can catch him on Instagram at BXZZANO. And make sure you hit up my boy Murky.
Chris, bring that camera.
Badass jerseys.
Yeah, bring that camera here so I can play with it, bro. Like, I like that. I need to see how it works. That was like some Oracle eye shit. The way that camera just turned at the back of a spider hit or something. So, yeah, bring that out there. I
think I'm gonna have him make us another cut, like for the end of the program. So I'm definitely gonna be hitting him up. And we just got to get out there, man. What we need from you guys is we need 100 subscribers. We need 48 more subscribers. So if you're already a subscriber and you're here, you're talking to us right now, share, get your people to like it, because this morning we had the opportunity to go out to the glassblowing place with Mike Janan and film there. And the only option that we had was to take all this equipment, set it up there, and we wouldn't be able to walk around and physically see D-Man blowing glass.
Man,
so we need y'all's help. Share, tell people to subscribe, let everybody know we're the most filthy mouth people to tell you fuck your boss.
Early in the morning too.
Like, you know what I mean? It's Monday morning. It's my day off. You know what I'm saying? And I just come in just to talk shit and brag about the Patriots.
You guys can check out Merge Scientific on Instagram. If you guys never seen glass being blowed, like it's really awesome.
And he's actually one of the better ones in the country. I mean, he has a significant following.
Yes,
And he
25K.
did scientific glass, which is like, if you know beakers, and I say beakers lightly because that is baby shit to what he actually does. And I wish that I could pull something up right now that would show you the magnitude of what this man is doing. But he puts like little spirally glass tubes inside of glass bulbs that extract, that are made for extracting stuff.
It's actually cool. Like I was supposed to go pick one up last night. It's
It
like
was supposed to. It like separates blood from plasma, and it's all done by hand.
Yeah, scientific plasma piece is what I'm supposed to be picking up. I can't wait to get that.
Yeah, that'd be awesome. So shout out to Mike Janan.
Definitely.
We are working on it. That should be something that we have for you this week. We'll pre-record it or something and edit it and make it into a fun video for you guys, and just show you how crazy, freaking cool that is. You can catch him on Instagram if you want to just go up there and check it out now. It's Merge Scientific.
Yep, Merge, MERGE_scientific.
Yeah, and so hopefully what we can do is we'll record that video so that when we come in, it'll be the first thing y'all see, and then we'll interview him. Okay. We'll try and get him in for an interview and just get him to talk shit to y'all.
Pretty busy guy. We're definitely looking forward to that. Oh, email is starting early. Yep.
Yeah, so anyway, speaking of email, if you have any questions while we're off the air, you can go to apexarttalk@gmail.com. And we said we were going to show you guys some pictures. We were talking about Kayla. I got pictures of Kayla and Noah, and they both said it was okay that I show their picture. But these guys took advantage of the snow in a way, like everybody else went out and sled and they made a snowman. Noah and Kayla went out and just decided to, do a photo shoot. Like Noah's out there doing some
Noah's on a quest. I saw that. My man Noah was on a quest for real. I like that.
So let me see here. Here we go.
That was cool.
Aaron posted one for me. Let's see if I can just preview them. Here we go.
That a way to be.
I might need to adjust this, but this is Noah.
That's what I'm talking about, Noah.
Good job, man. And so, like, if you read the caption underneath this, he was actually like pretending to be, one of the anime people shouting at the gods or whatever, like.
What they do.
And then, yeah, so we saw Noah at the Comic-Con, and he was like in full get up. So he is definitely a Comic-Con fan. And there's Kayla, looking like a real Frozen character.
Is that a lake in the back?
I don't know. Yeah.
Is it like a pond?
Yeah, it's a little pond. Way to go, guys. Awesome pictures. Great opportunity to take advantage of all that good stuff.
Wow, everybody.
We salute you.
Good job, guys. If you guys got any crazy snow pictures, man, definitely email them to us, man. We will definitely post them.
I'm tired of seeing the snow. If you didn't post it, I ain't gonna put it.
If you send me a picture of snow and it ain't snow, I post it. Don't tell me it's snow.
I'm gonna post pictures of green grass because I'm tired of that shit, man. People don't know how to drive and all that good stuff.
People don't know how to do shit. The damn year just started off and y'all already fucking up.
Okay, so did you hear about the guy that they tried to give lethal injection to 23 times?
You find this shit like
without
ISIS.com.
success.
Like, this shit, bro.
This actually came from WRAL.
When I saw it, I'm like, what the fuck?
So usually my rounds consist of, I'm going to check locally to see what the news is. Then I'm going to check national to see what the news is. Then I'll go to the most trending thing on Facebook and the most trending thing on YouTube. And YouTube just sucked.
Yeah.
Like, I did find something that was trending that I felt like it was a good inspirational video.
Right.
And we'll get to that in a little bit. But here in Columbus, Ohio, and I'll click over to that so you can see it. They are now considering the firing squad because this guy, he did something, he killed an 18-year-old kid trying to mug his car, and he was sentenced to death row. And upon trying to administer 23 times for lethal injection, he's not dead. And so now they're just like, well, he needs to die for the crime that he did was so gruesome. And so now they're like, well, firing squad?
That's so fucked up, man.
I think I'd want to go by firing squad. To be honest with you, I don't want to just go to sleep and nah.
Yeah.
That's gangster shit right there, dude. Like, hey, lethal injection couldn't kill me. You know,
that first shot gonna just take you. Somebody gonna hit you in the back of the head. You gonna feel it.
I don't even know how they do firing squad. Is it to the chest? Is it to the head?
Come on, bro. They line you up and they just tell they make you get shot. They ain't no you ain't hitting line you get. Because if I'm gonna shoot you, I'm gonna shoot you in the head. I'm not gonna sit there and care. It's the firing squad, bro. One particular person gonna jump out. He gonna try to stand out, and I'm gonna hit him in the head.
What if they hit him in the head and he don't die? What do you do then?
They fucking with a miracle.
Death by a steamroller?
You gotta just
like you're gonna flatten your ass out like a pancake or something?
And blow himself back up with stick his thumb in his mouth.
Yeah, there's some Roger Rabbit shit right there, man. So yeah.
So is he dead now? Is he?
No.
No, he's still not dead. Oh, they're just thinking about it.
Well, they used to have firing squad as a legal form of death penalty, and you know some states, you know, they're just barely bringing back the death penalty. So like some states still don't even have it, but you know that's why I really love Texas, is because if you do a crime that involves the death penalty and other people saw you commit that crime, they're gonna kill you within 35 days. They're like, they don't want mental anguish or nothing. They want them people to sleep good 30 days. You ain't gonna spend 15 years on death row if somebody saw you commit that crime. They're just gonna fast track your ass right to the freaking dumpster.
That's fucked up. But hey, system was not meant to protect us.
Yeah.
Fuck it.
So generally, if you're tuning in, we had a whole bunch of problems this morning, and it cost us a half an hour. So we are just gonna try and, you know, carry on as long as we can until we open up shop. And then I'm off to play airsoft.
Ooh, fun.
In the dick.
I'm talking about. Got a pretty badass piece to dirty.
Yeah.
Yep.
You've been doing some pretty badass work, bro.
This is today's fun.
Oh
right
shit.
Yeah.
Dude, that's fat ass.
That's to finish up the sleeve. Gotta finish up the arm right there.
Oh damn.
Gotta finish up the back side.
Yeah, that's gonna be badass.
That'll be it, man. Make sure you guys come in before tax season and make your appointments before we get all booked up. Go to our shop website, check out our work, choose your artist, bring your design.
It's about to be tax season. It's not gonna be too many more days left.
Yeah, you won't walk in here and just get a tattoo. You definitely have to make that appointment. Don't come in here giving you shit either.
No, we ain't gonna take no shit. 2018, that was our New Year's resolution, is we was gonna take a little less from y'all and give a little bit more to the people who deserve it. So, you know, so I was, you know me, I'm always looking for the newest form of art.
Yeah.
And I had run upon this a while back and just kind of roaming through. Have you ever heard of taking spray paint and doing swirl dipping?
I've heard of it. You know, it seems a little messy. I don't understand it. I don't understand how
to me, it seems really simple.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You take a bucket of water that's deep enough to submerge whatever you're trying to paint. You spray, and you can use 1,000 different colors if you want. And then you take a little stick and you just make little swirly patterns through it. And then you like just dip your shit in there real slow, and when you pull it out, it's gonna look like a marbleized paint job.
Like some tie-dye shit.
And you know me, I'm always gonna watch like 100 of these videos because I want to see how far they'll go.
Okay.
But like a lot of people do it on canvases, and they just attach into the wood frame in the back. They just put a handle, and they just slowly dip it in, and when they, you know, you clear off the excess paint so that when you pull it off, it doesn't stick as well. But you pull it out and it's bam, fully coated. And I just got to thinking, you know, we don't do a good enough job of actually trying to teach people some of this art. And obviously we're not gonna teach you sand art because we don't know shit about it. You know what I mean? Just like You know, I'll
Nice.
try some stuff, you know, whatever.
It
But
look
this
good.
one, I actually was able to find a tutorial. So once this posts, you scroll down to the bottom and you'll see there's a tutorial, and then it'll show you how like people. One of the trending videos on YouTube was a guy, he found a really, really tiny egg, like the tiniest bird egg in the world.
Damn.
And he was determined to try and get this thing, see this thing through. And I see it as the same thing as trying to start a business or having an idea. You know, it starts off as an idea, and the idea is that egg. And to see that egg is tiny, you know what I mean? And it's just the same thing Steve Harvey said about jumping. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's going to be hard, and so this dude was like, actually got the egg to hatch, but that wasn't the burden. The burden was, how do I take something that's about half the size of my finger right here and feed it every day?
Yeah.
Because it had to be fed every 30 minutes. And so if you can imagine catching bugs small enough to feed it, you know what I mean, staying on it, and then, you know, he saw it through, and the day he was like, well, I want to see if, you know, it's ready for the wild. And so he took it outside and the fucking thing just flew away. You know what I'm saying? He's like, it flew away so fast he couldn't even get it on film.
Damn.
And yeah, it ended up being a bird. But I'll play that video for you at the end. But like basically what people did was they saw these people dipping, right? And so they made this film, and it's called hydro dipping.
Okay.
And so basically they found a way to put that like spray paint or oil-based paint into a film, right? And you set this film on the water, and the film all of a sudden dissolves from being like almost like a masking tape to being just like spraying the spray paint.
Right.
And then they dip it on there, and bam, you got this badass flame pattern. And so we're gonna play a couple of these here for you real quick and give you an idea. There, one of them is a tutorial. Let me make sure I'm at least on the right screen here. And so this guy, he's just pouring them in. It is all the requirement is to have an oil-based paint. And so I'm gonna mute this because YouTube's an asshole, and we'll just talk through it. And so basically all he's doing is, as he lays it on there, it looks like it's sinking, but it's actually dissipating and floating out to the edges. And he'll take, you know, a couple of different colors. I think on this one he's painting a yellow and black custom guitar. And so, you know, he's just dripping it all over the place. If you had a spray can, it would be the same thing. You just spray, 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 and you could do different dots in different sections, and all of them are going to stay separate. Like the colors aren't going to mix together. And that's the craziest part, because the water is basically creating a layer in between each color. So as he stops and starts to put the next color in, it's actually keeping separate from the black. And that's probably the coolest shit ever. And so I'm going to fast forward it, hopefully not too far. And you see him here, and all he's doing is dragging a little stick and trying to kill any spot that has too much yellow or too much black. And all this is, people, is water. All right? Primer, whatever that you're going to do, just give it a coat of, I've seen a couple of people just do paint, you know what I mean? They just painted it first, so that the paint would stick better.
That's fucking cool.
But to me, I would think that you would use a primer. And the coolest part about it is whatever you're dipping isn't even really getting wet. It is being coated immediately by the coating, and so when you pull it out, it's not actually wet. And the paint itself has kept it waterproof. And so it's not giving me my preview. I'm just going to get to the point where he starts to put the guitar in. There we go. And so this process is kind of really slow. But as you can see, when he starts sticking it in the water, he doesn't just dip it straight down, because it would copy that exact pattern. He just kind of moves it to the left, to the right, to the left, to the right, and it just makes this wild out pattern. Yep. And you can see it. You can see it's like sticking to that thing like a magnet. And so once he dips it all the way in, he's actually going to dip it past the paint so that the paint basically cuts off, and now the guitar is fully submerged underwater. And then they're going to take some kind of like spatula. I think the best thing I saw during the tutorials was to just take a piece of paper and swat the paint out of the way. And basically what that does is that reveals the water so that you can pull it back out of the water without ruining your pattern. And this to me is like the coolest, easiest form of abstract art you can get. And I mean, marble anything is super expensive. You can't duplicate it really by hand. There's another method for canvas. It involves silicone. They put silicone in it, and as they wipe, little cells start to appear. It's very futuristic, but I wanted to stick to the plan today. Look at this. One of a kind, custom paint job. You can't duplicate it. You know what I mean? That's what art is. You know what I mean? This dude made a custom guitar. There's never going to be another like it. He can try. He can make similar ones, but none of them are actually going to be the same. So that was the end product. So ta-da! And the next video I want to show for you is the guy that is doing the tutorial.
Yeah.
And so he explains it to the T. Let me get out of this real quick. There we go. And I'll find my other link real quick. But I just kind of generally want to show you that was more of a commercial setting with that guy. And this guy. Are we still playing? There we go. Yep. And so, you know, I'm going to keep it muted because I don't want to get flagged, but all he's doing is he pre-painted his skull, and then he's going to proceed. And this is it right here, people. And all he's got is a paper to brush the water out of the way. And spray. And this skull turns out so cool. You know me, I'm all about skulls. I immediately was like, yo, I'm gonna go buy some more of them realistic skulls and do a couple like this. And like, he didn't do it with anything specific. He just put on a pair of gloves and he dips it with his own hand. I watched the guy do it to some Nerf guns. Damn. San Jose. Don't know anybody there. And all it is back and forth, back and forth. He's going to go a couple of times. As you can see, and then slowly, slowly dip it. Yeah, and you can see it, how it's wrapping. And then he just brushes it out of the way, pulls it out. Yeah, me too, bro. I immediately thought of my airsoft rifle. I was like, dude, I'm gonna hydro dip my shit, bro.
So do you need anything special or just spray paint water?
Just spray paint water. It's got to be an oil-based spray paint.
We got some up there.
Look at that wild out, bro. That looks like some satanic shit now.
It's probably how Kane did his fucking mask. Oh, wow.
Yeah, and so that's it. And, you know, there was a guy out there that, you know, I'm sure he owns the patent on hydro dipping. And so, I'm gonna show you that somebody took it to the next level and made this like film that you just dip in the water, and as you pull it out, it goes to wild out like that. And so we're gonna go to this one real quick and show you this. And I'm telling you, people, this is like awesome. You would pay a grip to get this stuff done.
You can do it yourself.
And you can do it yourself, and it's easy. It's a
Like,
little messy. I'm pretty sure you don't want to use your mom's container.
she gonna beat
And
your
yeah,
ass.
because that oil-based acrylic style paints don't come off of shit.
Shit ain't cheap either.
And look at this. Look at how it's just like a sheet of, and they throw it on the water. Our buffering is moving kind of slow. And then this is what's difficult with this is that they're spraying some kind of adhesive. I don't know what it is, but watch this. So the pattern they put in the water was flames, and what they're going to do now is they're going to take a gas can from a motorcycle and just slowly dip it, just like all the rest of them. If our buffering would buff,
Like a big lemon. Bro, that is so fucking cool.
should have done some of these links. Maybe that'll speed us back up. Watch this. Look at that, dude. And so that's the difference between swirl paint dipping and hydro dipping, is that film. And you can order that film and do it the same way that you did. I'm telling you, dude. That's wild out.
I want that now.
He said, I want that now. And so I'm going to fast forward this and try and keep from getting flagged. But he also does a carbon fiber one. And I didn't even watch this. This is actually pretty long. Oh, the paisley. This is badass too. Look at that, bro. Exact patterns. So I imagine hydro dipping is a little bit harder than swirl painting, but swirl painting I think looks more cool. With swirl painting, you're also never going to have two of a kind. And that's what makes it art, you know what I mean? Whereas anybody could buy the same sheet of crap and get it on there, even though it is still difficult and it is still cool. It's not quite the same thing. This is like getting a t-shirt printed.
Now don't go home and saw your car door off and think you just gonna dip it in some water and pull it back out and put it back on.
Yeah, come get us. We want to help you.
Yeah,
we want to film it.
Yeah, we like, is that like a motorcycle?
Yeah, it's a motorcycle gas tank. All of these are.
That's what they look like, bro.
Yeah.
Exactly what they are.
Yeah, so now we just taught you something, and now you know how to make absolutely one of a kind, awesome freaking art.
That is something.
We got anybody commenting, bro? Chase is still with us.
Chase is probably still with us. Somebody else is still with us. And everybody else is probably still in bed recovering from the weekend.
Yeah, look at that. It's like snow flames.
That right there just gave me a lot of ideas.
Yeah, because you can do it to a canvas.
Definitely.
That is the thing. Yeah. Like I debated on whether to put that there, but I don't want to gum up the whole description at the bottom with a bunch of stuff. I wanted to show how it's done, how it can be applied, and then I wanted to show how somebody is kind of taking it to the point where it's like screen printing on a t-shirt.
That's cool as shit.
You can still do this. Like if you do enough research, YouTube will show you anything. And so there was a guy he bought the film himself. He did it the exact same way that the spray paint people did. And basically he took Nerf guns and dipped them into this hydro art or whatever the hell you want to call it. And he just made some wild out Nerf guns. I'm gonna grab a drink.
Alright, bro. I'm gonna definitely check out the prices online. Not the prices online for the film, but I definitely want to check out what was used, like what type of chemical was put into the water.
Want soda?
No, sir, I'm fine. Anybody out there interested in getting a hydro paint on, definitely send me a DM or email, and we'll definitely set that up. We'll record it, you know. You don't have to be an artist. I'm not gonna let you embarrass me on the internet, so we'll fix whatever you want.
You know, when I die, I said I wanted to be cremated, dude. I want you to hydro dip
what? Me. Man, I'm with it, bro. Hell yeah. I'm trying to get stuffed. Like, just stuff and stick me in the put me in the corner.
Weekend with Bernie.
Yeah, like Weekend and Bernie type shit.
Take me around everywhere.
R.I.P. D. Like, oh, what's up, D? I'm gonna just, he looking a little stiff over there, bro. Yeah, all right. Just cold. Man. It's been a good morning so far, man. I hope everybody out there is on their way to work, driving safe. If you're on your way to school, wherever, if you're turning yourself in for jail, I know you're innocent. Whatever you could be possibly doing this morning.
Hey, we had a rough start too, so and he's still here.
You know, that's how life works. You know, it's about getting through it.
Yep. So adapt and overcome.
Adapt and overcome, bro. Expect the unexpected, man.
So we here, just came in, made this show just for you guys, so that we could brighten up your day, maybe encourage you to do something better with your life. And so we just want y'all to keep in mind that each one of us has been built with a gift. And if nobody's ever told you that before, let me be the first one to tell you is that you have something that somebody else doesn't have in this particular area, or maybe there's an area you can go to once you do find your gift that you can make a very good living. I don't know anybody in this area that's hydro dipping. You know what I'm saying? So if you got goosebumps when you saw that, and then all of a sudden your artistic flow started flowing, man, I'm telling you, you could be the first one to do this in this area, and people will swarm to it. You know what I mean? There's so many bikes. There's so many, competitions. I know when I took my truck to a car show, people had their engine parts hydro dipped. And so they had all these fancy, like some of them were airbrushed, but most of them were hydro dipped. And just dipped their parts of their car so that when they popped the hood, it was like, oh shit, their engine is painted. And it's like, how can you compete with that? And now, last night it kind of put it all together for me. How easy it would be to soup up your car like that, and you could say, well, I did this shit myself. But anyways, I just trying to get to the point where to encourage you to go break out of your box, because there's nothing better than being your own boss.
Definitely, man. I'm not sure if you guys ever been to one of them car shows, but just from them speaking on it, I've attended a couple of them car shows, and just when you thought your car was okay, normal, and badass, then you get this car to pull up beside you with fucking TVs in the headlights. Who the hell is watching TVs in the headlight? I literally looked in my rearview mirror so long when he followed me out of the event just so I could see what was playing through his headlights. Like, that's a distraction. That's worse than DWI.
I have a 1965 Ford F100 that was fully restored. It has the original engine block in there, which is a Cleveland 352. They don't even make those anymore.
Exactly.
And I get so many compliments, and I've even had Nito came through and did some photos with it and stuff. And I go to that car show, and my car is like not even in the top 3.
Yeah, that's
for old trucks. Like, there's people that just, that's all they do. They're retired. They're bored. They done told their boss to fuck off, and they're retired.
Yeah.
So they get that little check-in or whatever, retirement funds, and they just,
blow it.
I'm going to wake up this morning and paint the underside of the chairs in my truck. Like, who looks there?
Put Lamborghini doors on a hearse. Like, you can't stop doing this shit, man. Like, keep the car the way the car's supposed to be. Like, stop doing all this crazy stuff to it, man. You jump in the damn car, it's like a party bus.
I can't hate you for it, but I ain't gonna put all that time into anything and not drive it.
There was a Febreze car that passed me on the highway, bro. Literally a Febreze car. It was all painted Febreze, wrapped.
Dude,
Febreze.
they'll pay you. They'll pay you to drive around your car with a Red Bull sticker on the side.
What disturbed me was the Febreze can that hung. You know how they put like the nuts on the back of their car? He actually had the Febreze can swinging, literally back and forth. So I'm like, yeah, it was just way too much for me. It was, pretty cool concept.
Hey, he probably gets a check from that.
Yeah,
driving around the Febreze car.
Lawsuit.
So we only got about 5 minutes left. A big shout out to our nation's serving and current veterans.
Definitely.
We got a special place for you. Definitely check out the captions and check out that little bit I leave in there every time for the 22 kill support. 22 veterans a day commit suicide. They come home from war and the battle's not over in their mind. And so we want you to go to 22 kill and support. And then, I'm going to give you this encouraging video about this little tiny egg. And when you watch this, I don't want you to be like, oh, it's a cute little bird. I want you to think of that as, oh, this is a cute little idea. And watch how with the right, care and patience and time, you can do this with a business. And I know I've seen it done. I've done it 4 times myself. Every time was successful, except for when I had a partner. You know what I'm saying? So this venture, this gift is yours. I would strongly encourage you to do it all by yourself, because that's when you're going to really reap the benefits. And when you have a partner and things start, money starts coming, money changes people. So when you don't start seeing eye to eye anymore, then your business fails. And so that's why it's always important to start your go run with your own idea. You know what I'm saying? And so I'm gonna go to there, and I'm just gonna let this play out. So I want y'all to have a great day, and I'll put this up there, and we're gonna let it rock out. We'll definitely still keep talking, but
Oh yeah, you know us, man. We can sit here and do this all day. We just because
yeah.
YouTube
So,
don't give us no limit. We can we kind of just break ourselves off. So we can sit here and talk
peace
to you
out.
guys all day.
We love you
Man.
guys.
One love.
It's the start of the week. Fuck your boss.
Don't fuck this week up just
Yeah.
just to start. But yeah, send
Yeah,
that
I mean-
fuck you to your boss, and if he send it back, then file for unemployment.
No, don't tell your boss fuck you. We had somebody come in and be like,
Yeah.
"Yo, I almost told my boss to fuck off today, and then I realized I wasn't on the radio program." so he decided to keep his current employment, and we appreciate you doing that. We don't want you to lose your job. We just want to make your job easier.
I know, man.
So check out this video of the little egg that could, and we'll talk you guys out for the rest of the day.
He said the little egg that could.
Yeah.
AC Moore, I don't even know what to look up hydroponic was. But if anybody out there has any ideas, you know what I mean? Like I said, I will definitely start this hydro thing, but do not just get me to try to hydro paint anything. Don't be dropping off your baby diapers and shoes and whatnot.
So basically, he thought he had found a nest that had been ruined, but as he pulled the nest out, he ended up finding 2 little eggs still inside. And this was trending. It's already got almost 2 million views. 1.725. I mean, think of that, dude. Them eggs is the size of a dime, bro.
A fingernail with that.
And so, fast forward, he puts them in a little, scientific nest.
Bro, I thought
puts
that
a
was a
little
microwave, yo. I was gonna say, damn.
He had to rotate the eggs 3 times a day for all the way up until they're ready to hatch. The coolest part is what he does next. To see if there's life, he actually used the light on his cell phone, and basically he'll put the egg over the top, and if you can see veins, then there's life. If you can't see nothing, then more than likely it wasn't a fertilized egg. And so the video I've also posted with this, a lady went to the Asian supermarket and bought quail eggs out of the refrigerator and went home and hatched 7 of them.
Shit.
I was like, are you freaking kidding me?
Yeah, bro.
And so I put a little caption on there that just lets you know that some people might have ideas, but they don't see it all the way through. And from probably about $1 or $2 for quail eggs, she ended up with 7 quail that are always going to lay eggs, and now she doesn't have to buy quail eggs no more. Isn't that cool?
That's cool as hell, bro.
Yeah. And so you can see the veins in there pumping and moving around and stuff. And that there is a sign of life, at least to most people.
Mm-hmm.
And so we're going to fast forward it.
That's cool.
Ta-da! Little baby egg. And he just got a little bit of feathers on top of his head. And I'm going to let this play because this is where he realized that he was in for more than he had bargained for. It opened its mouth, it received food, but every little movement, while it's this small, is actually costing it, and it could cost it its life because he's only going to be able to lift his head 2 or 3 times to get that in his mouth, and if you don't get it in his mouth, now he's too weak to eat and he'll die. And so The guy does try and put it into perspective how small this bird is. He puts it in his hand. That's how big it was. And that has got to be the tiniest little creature as a baby, next to like a little mouse or something.
Oh, that is so small.
And so basically he realized that the container, the little nest that he had the eggs in, was too slippery for the bird to get a grip, so it wasn't able to lift its head because it couldn't really hold on. And so he put the paper in there. And then he realized, well, this thing gets weak if I don't go and get food, and I don't just have abundance of food. Like he went out to his rose bushes and like scraped rose lice off and fed it to the bird. And then he was like, well, this bird needs to eat every 30 minutes. I don't have enough lice. I don't have enough rose bushes. So then he takes his ass out. Let's see if I, yeah. So now he's out there kicking bushes and swatting with a little bug net, just trying to catch mosquitoes out of the air to feed this little bird.
Okay.
Just think about the level of determination this dude has from doing all this stuff. You know what I mean? All he wants to do, the bird ain't even gonna say thank you. The bird just gonna fly away because the bird is wild and all the bird wants to do is fly.
Bird, ungrateful bird. That's what it was.
But I'm telling you, this is how an idea works, and to see it to fruition is, you know, you have an idea, you offer something that nobody else is offering, or maybe people are offering the same thing, but you can offer it better because of your idea makes your business better or your idea better, and you see it through, and then eventually it's going to get to the point where you're going to open your hand and you're going to let that thing go, and it's going to pay you for the rest of your life, you know, and fly. And that's the same concept, but the amount of patience and the amount of determination that it takes is just like this guy. He's out there kicking bushes, swatting the air. You know, he's got to feed this thing every 30 minutes, so you can guarantee you he ain't working from a desk. He works from home.
Gotta be. I was about to say, well, you gotta go to work. I know you're keeping this bird in your pocket.
And I'm sure this is only for a couple of days, because it wasn't very long. 2 days. It started to get feathers, started to get some skin pigment to it.
Oh, shit.
He opened his eyes.
It's a dragon.
Yeah, dragon. You're funny, dog. So, you know, within a week, maybe 2 weeks,
just to watch the process of how birds.
You're gonna pop up in there. It's like
They
a little goblin.
They bonding now. Okay. That's cool, bro. Still think that's a microwave.
But just like anything, dude, anything that's successful, eventually you ain't gonna be able to control it. It's gonna go do its own thing. And you just gotta hope that you did the proper job of nourishing it before you open the box. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, man. He had a premature baby bird, and he just brought like that's really touching right there. This bird is still eating.
Beep, beep, beep.
Uh-oh.
The quail egg one is pretty cool.
That's cool. Okay.
Yeah. He just wants out now.
Full of energy now.
And so we're gonna end it with this right here. The bird flies away so fast he can't even film it.
Oh,
we want you guys to have a blessed day, man. And just remember, one idea can take you a lot farther than you think. You know, we want ideas that help you all fly. Every single one of you deserve a chance, but that deserving isn't free. You got to go out there. You got to work for it. You know, the idea was guaranteed. The success wasn't. You got to make the success happen. All right. So y'all have a great day, and we'll see you on Thursday.
All right, guys. Yeah, let's have a good one.